I met Brent on a high school bus, and he had blue hair and would not shut the fuck up. He annoyed the shit out of me.
Nikkole didn't like him at first, which is usually typical with anybody at first. Throughout the years, they were always really good friends. Nikkole was kind of back and forth, and it just came a time where Nikkole became absolutely infatuated with him.
It was a growing fascination with someone who was so strong yet so soft. I remember I told him that our relationship was so close that he had to be mine.
He would just tell me how much he loved her and about how he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her and that she was the one. There was never a time where he didn't tell me that he loved Nikkole.
Like, there wasn't Brent without Nikkole. There wasn't Nikkole without Brent. Like, it was a goddamn package deal.
They were inseparable. They were each other.
They kind of were made for each other. They both kind of have that crazy, wild personality, but yet they're just the easiest people to talk to. They're personable, and you know, I was glad when they got together.
Their love was fucking wild, man. I can't really... The things that I've heard are already weird enough.
Oh my god, we were gross. We are gross. I still have his toenail. We were nasty. I remember one time we were in my mom's kitchen. She owned a restaurant, and just to freak out my mom, we hocked a loogie in each other's mouth, like a full-fledged loogie. And then just on top of that, it's just, dude, we had played butthole games and rubbed feet on each other.
Brent and Nikkole told me that they were getting married in Vegas.
And I remember hearing that they got married in Vegas, and I just remember thinking, not only did they do it in an epic way, but it was just like, you know what I mean? It just was, everything about it was them, you know?
Their marriage was like the most amazing thing. I literally cried seeing that live. It was just awesome. I was so happy for them.
I mean, it was literally the most beautiful love I could have ever seen in my whole entire life.
They are just the perfect crazy couple that I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life, and I probably won't see anything like it ever again.
Me and Brent had only been together for 2 weeks, and that's when I found out I was pregnant. Me and Brent were together for a year before we actually were together. Then we finally got together, 2 weeks into it, that's when we found out. And he was just so calm about it, so excited. He was so happy. We wanted a boy first. We went to Sugarman Woods to have a 3D ultrasound. We went to Beef O'Brady's, and that's when we opened the envelope that we were not supposed to open because we were having a gender reveal, and we found out it was a little girl, and it like exceeded his expectations. It really did. He held her first, and he changed her first diaper. Aurora is every bit of who he was. Every bit. We call it sass, metalheads call it fucking edge. She every bit as crazy as he is. Every bit as independent, and every bit as helpful.
She looks just like him, and like, she loves him so much.
Killian was born, it was like, yes, I have my son.
I knew we were naming it Killian. I brought the name Slater up. No, not at all. His name is Killian. And Brent will tell you that it's Killian because it's his favorite beer. That man loved Killian from Once Upon a Time. Killian Jones, Captain Hook, that was his main man. He had the biggest crush on that dude.
The last time we ever hung out, I saw him laying out in the middle of the yard with Killian. I went and sat by him, and I slammed my hand down on his chest, and I was like, how's it going? He's like, it's going good. And he was like, I love my fucking son. I fucking love him.
He obviously loved his kids, and his kids clearly love him just as much, you know.
Brent is a wonderful father. Brent was always there. Always put his kids first, and you know, the way that he would play with the kids, it just absolutely was mesmerizing.
Brent was the one that would run over, like Aurora would fall and he's running, and he would be the one that read them bedtime stories and tucked them in.
I am very proud of him for leaving us with Aurora and Killian, and they're gonna know how much his father was loved and how much of a good person he was.
I'm just brokenhearted that my grandchildren will miss out on such a great person.
That's the hardest part of it all. I can take Brent and I can put him in a little box and I can move on, but they're just missing out.
My first like metal show was an Unsung Destroyer show, and I was in love. I was like, I love this so much. Like, I was in the mosh pit, like I was getting down, and it was awesome. Brent was like so fantastic.
Probably hands down the greatest frontman I have ever seen, even in big bands. This dude was so intense and in your face, and like, if you were chilling in the back, he would walk over there to you and like grab you and bring you over there. He'd get in everybody's faces.
Brent was it, jumping off the stage, getting in his boxers, smashing beer cans on his head, licking blood from girls.
Brent was on this whole kick of smashing his face with mics and doing all this crazy shit. You never knew what was gonna happen next. He was definitely a wild man, and you know, there's no way you could stop him.
He was born to be a frontman in a metal band. I'm a huge metal fan, been to plenty of metal concerts, and even if I was unbiased and didn't know Brent, I would have been at the same amount of unsung shows.
Whether it was like 5 or 10 people or they had a whole house full, Brent always brought the same amount of energy every time.
He would just have so much fucking fun, bro.
Wish there could be more music, but we just gotta keep playing the music that he made.
That was good.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. We are Unsung Destroyer. Hey, get your ass to a motherfucking. Get your ass to a motherfucking show. Hey, I'm talking to you in there. Hey, you in Videoland, get out to an Unsung Destroyer show because you're not gonna miss out on nothing. Just come with us.
Brent was always like just happy and smiling and easygoing.
He was always so excited, you know, all the time.
I mean, everything he did with 100% passion. Everything.
He was every bit and as crazy and as insane as you see in all the footage. That was life. I almost tell people that I don't know any other way that me and him would have made it. Not necessarily that way, but he lived life so big.
Lived life at its fullest. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it big.
And he was the go-getter. He would go and do shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would say stuff and he would do it. And then on top of that, if he wanted to do something or like achieve something, he would go and get it. And he would go and do it, or like accomplish pretty much whatever, you know. He wasn't scared of shit.
I think he was just like an overall genuinely good guy, you know, like, but he was just like spontaneous, completely outgoing and adventurous, like no reins, no leash, nothing, you know, no filter, no holds bars, but like for the most part he had like good morals, and that was like a great part of him, you know.
No matter what was going on, just wanted to make you happy. If he was talking to you, there was never a negative thing he had to say. It was always positive with Brent. Always. If he had to make you laugh, he would make you laugh. To no matter what extent he had to go up to, he would make you laugh.
He always did whatever he could possibly do, you know. He included everybody in everything. Like, there was never any man left out. There was no odd man out. Brent always went out of his way to make sure everybody was good, taken care of. There was plenty of times that he stayed sober, and he was the dad, you know, on nights that I was, you know, couldn't stand up. And He always cared about everybody. That's what I loved about him. He had the biggest heart, and he wore it on his sleeve.
He always looked out for everybody else. Sometimes he had problems of his own, but he always looked to help somebody else. He was always there. I could call him at a moment, so it didn't matter what was going on here. They needed something done. He came and he would help me.
He's just a good friend. Like, he was there. Like, you could tell him anything, and he would just be like, I don't know, you just understand. He's an understanding person. Like, he really is.
One of a kind. If I had to explain anything, it'd be one of a kind. Completely one of a kind. He cared. He always cared, and he was someone that you knew always had your back through anything. Anything you ever wanted, he fucking, like, he had your back.
Brent would always put anybody first. Always. Anytime I had a bad time or I was going through some issues, he would always build me up. And I think above all, that was probably one of the best things about him, was that he would tell me, listen, Selena, everything's gonna be all right.
No matter what was going on, everything was gonna be okay.
His character really brought light to a lot of people.
And he was always the best kind of person to be around.
They really say that the good die young. You don't realize it until you're with a group of people and the best dude isn't there.
Brent, I love you. Just look over all of us. Help us take care of your children. Please be at peace with yourself right now.
He's definitely going to be missed. He's one hell of a dude. Awesome musician, great father, husband.
And I just hope that you're just having a fucking heavy metal time in heaven right now, man. I really do. I just hope that you're having a fucking kick-ass time with a badass band. With all the fucking legends. Because you're a fucking legend, Brent. I love you, bro.
Rock and roll, Uncle Brett.
We love you.
Oh, I miss you, you little shit. Oh, I wish you were still here. You could see your kids grow up, and you know, there's nothing I really feel like I can say that would mean enough. You know, like, I mean, he was like one of my little brothers. You know, I fucking loved him.
And I hear that voice. If you knew Brent, he just had that voice where, and the biggest, greatest hugs. I will miss the hugs.
I'll never be mad at you. I'm mad that you're not here, but I'll never be mad at you.
He was like my dad, and I wish he was here. He should be here, and I know he knows he should be here, and it's weird without him here.
If you could hear me right now, like, I just wish you could wake up today and know that it's a beautiful day and everything would be all right. And I know that there was things that nobody knew about, but I love you, and a lot of people love you, and it's just terrible. And we miss you a lot.
I love him, miss him.
I'm glad for the time that we had, the short time. I wish it could have been longer.
You know, just to not be grieving for your family, because they're going to be doing all right. You know, you got a big support system.
We're gonna like grow up and our kids are gonna be like 18 and like doing crazy shit like that we used to do, and we're just gonna like laugh about it. Which I think that's like something cool to like look forward to. Because I know it seems like it's like hopeless right now and it's hard. Because it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost my best friend, but like Nikkole lost her husband, her best friend, her child's father. And that's tough, dude.
You know, just want them to know how much we care about them. And I had a kickboxing match a couple weeks ago. I walked out to a Pantera song for him, so I'm hoping he heard that, because, you know, I did that for him, and I hope he's watching over us and watching over those babies and Nikkole, and, you know, just has a smile on his face thinking about them.
No matter what, I know that you're still here with us, and you'll never be forgotten.
He was the love of my life, the father of my children, and my best friend. And I'm real happy that my kids get to watch this and hear, not just from me, but other people's stories and memories and footage of the crazy, Pantera loving, Barbie watching, diaper swaddling dude he was. I jumped on a wild ass ride. A wild ass ride.
Don't let the days go by.
I really care for my family, and ain't nothing ever gonna take that away. It doesn't matter if this shit doesn't work out. It doesn't matter if whatever anything works out. I'll make sure my family's taken care of.